Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For this week's video, I am going to do a question and answer based off of questions that people asked me on my Instagram story a couple weeks ago. So let's roll the intro! Alright, the first question comes from @sv.book.nook, and I'll put the username right here. And the question is, what inspired you to write A Rose for Grace? Okay, first and foremost, When Calls the Heart slash the Jeanette Oak books are really what inspired me to write A Rose for Grace. Like, basically the storyline is a Mountie and a teacher, and that is basically it. And well, not it, but you know what I mean, that's like the two main characters, and that's pretty much just all I could think of at the time. And so A Rose for Grace was born, and basically the whole point of the story was I wanted my characters to be together from the start. So like, it's not exactly they meet and then like there's things that keep them apart because they shouldn't be together. They're kind of together throughout the course of the book, and then while they're together there's trials and things that they have to overcome, but they're still a couple through it. So it's kind of different than the typical love story slash romance books, but I had fun writing it and I hope you guys are gonna like it. Question number 2 is also from the same person. What is your favorite Karen Whittemire book? I had to say Short Straw Bride or Stealing the Preacher. Probably both of them because they were both like the same Archer Brothers series, so it's kind of like I kind of got to see the same characters in both books, and I really liked that. And yeah, those are my two favorite Karen Whittemire books. But I also love, which I have handy here, I also love More Than Meets the Eye, which was super good. I loved Logan and Evangeline and her brothers and stuff, so that was a third, but the other two come first. Honestly though, I just reached for the camera while I was still talking. It's like I have to program myself to not reach for the camera too soon and not start talking too soon after I've started recording. So just bear with me if I ever do that. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 questions from this person. I'm gonna start with the first one, and the person is @Lizzie_Murphy_author, and I'll put the username here again. Question number 1 is, what do you write? Okay, so basically I write love stories slash romance, however you want to say it. And previously I've written pretty much only historical. With my new book, I am kind of moseying into the contemporary side. But honestly, romance slash love stories is the core of what I write, and then the setting, it just depends. Like, my first book was set in Canada, my second book that I'm editing is set in Canada, and then my third one that I'm currently writing is set in my hometown in Nebraska. So the second question from Lizzie is, are you a pantser or a plotzer? Okay, so usually I'm more of a pantser. I just kind of like discover what I'm writing as I go, and I still love that method, but I'm also kind of transitioning into the plotting, so I kind of have a mix-up of both. And I know what's, like, I write down and outline what's going to happen overall, but I still have some leeway for any other developments and stuff to happen if they want to. So basically I have a loose outline, and then I can just, you know, kind of work with that, and if I need to change things along the way, then I guess I change things. The third question is, how did you start writing? I started writing, I think I've been writing for basically as long as I can remember, because I have always loved to read. So, you know, writing just kind of comes along with that. It doesn't for everyone, but for me I think it did. I don't know if there's exactly a specific reason or time that I remember I started writing, so I can't. That's kind of just a general question that I started writing as soon as I could write, maybe. And the fourth and final question from Lizzie is, I'm pretty sure, what is your favorite food? I'm sorry if that's not it, but it cut it off, so I think that's what it is. And I honestly don't have a favorite food, but I absolutely love green beans. And I'm going to mention this question from @Rebecca Caraway author is, how long have you been writing? And I already answered that, so go back in the video just a few seconds to hear my answer for that. And this question comes from @Jenna Van Maurick. Her question is favorite tropes. Honestly, I think my favorite is when they're like the main characters were or are best friends and then they kind of fall in love throughout the course of a book. It was kind of fun to see them like have a really good friendship and then it turns to love, which it might not always be the case, but when you pick up a book that's like that, you know it's gonna happen, but it's still awesome. And that's also kind of what I'm writing in my new one, and so it's kind of fun to get to do that, to write that. So I think that's one of my favorite tropes. This question comes from @HGP_storyteller, who actually won my book giveaway, and she said, are you doing a day in the life of a writer? Loved the first video, by the way. I am not doing a day in the life of the writer, but I would love to do that sometime, so if you guys want to see that, comment below or let me know on Instagram. And now the rest of these questions come from @Audrey_author, which is a good friend of mine, and I'm so blessed to have her as a friend and encouragement. Her first one is Bible verses / quotes that have stuck with you. Okay, I have to say that Romans 8:31, if God is for us, who can be against us, is one of my all-time favorite Bible quotes. And then 1 Corinthians 13:13 is also mine. Faith, hope, and love, and the greatest is love. I just love that, and I think it kind of embodies my writing style too, because I have faith and hope, but ultimately it's a love story, so I like how that kind of works with it. And then my last one is Philippians, shoot, I can't see it, I can't remember. Isn't it 4:6? I think it's Philippians 4:6. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is just basically an awesome verse because we can do everything through God as long as we're allowing Him to guide us. So basically those are my favorite Bible verses and quotes. I have a lot of favorite ones, but I don't really know any of them off the top of my head. So if you really want to see a lot of them, go to my Pinterest board, which I can link below because that's where I save them. Audrey's next question is favorite / least favorite tropes. Okay, since I already answered my favorite, I'm gonna answer my least favorite. And I have to say love triangles are like my least favorite thing. I want the two main characters to be together, and when someone else interferes, it just like, oh, it gets on my nerves. And so I'm like, no, you don't really need to throw that obstacle in. There could be something else to come in. And so I think that is like my least favorite trope in writing. Or reading. And reading too. I did it again. I reached for the camera before I was done talking. The second to last question from Audrey is my favorite writing environment. Coffee houses. Any coffee house or coffee shop. Like we have one that's 45 miles away from us that we frequent, which is just like a local coffee house. Or I love going to Starbucks or basically like Barnes and Noble or anywhere like that. But I'm also equally happy writing anywhere, like if we're at home, if we're at a hotel, if we're at our grandma's house. So I can write anywhere, but my favorite place to write is at a coffee house or a coffee shop. And it's kind of funny because I don't even drink coffee. I don't care for the flavor of coffee, but hot chocolate, like it says hot chocolate served here. So I just got hot chocolate instead. And the last question for this video also comes from Audrey. Your best way to decompress. I think just sometimes writing, but also sometimes just like putting it away for the night and like taking a bath or playing a game with my family, and then watching some or all of it, like a Hallmark movie, just to kind of like chill out and like, yeah, it's technology, but just chill like under a blanket with a cup of hot chocolate and like, or read. I love reading before bed or any of that, so that's like my best way to decompress. Or also just kind of like maybe take a nap or rest or just go for a walk and just forget about whatever you're decompressing from is usually like something you want to forget about for now. So I just recommend like doing something that's not related to that, or just something that you know can help relax you. So that is all for this week's video. Thank you so much for sending in your questions, and I enjoyed answering them. And if we want to do... Oh, a squirrel just ran by. You can see his bushy tail. Like right over by that angel. Barely. Anyway, now that we got off track because of the cute little squirrel, that was a really fun video to record, and thank you for sending in your questions. And if we want to do a part 2 of that sometime, let me know and we will. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and for any of the Hallmark fans out there, Christmas movies start this weekend, so yay! I'll see you next Friday with a new video.